Shubhodayam. Welcome to all for this session of the 7th batch of certificate course on Sanatan Dharma organized by Veda Samskruti Samiti in association with Visva Yoga Vidyapit. We have completed till now importance of Vedas, introduction to Vedas, Vedangas, part of Darsanas, importance of Sanskritam language, and one Sanskritam class, two Sanskritam classes. Today we are going to start Upanishads by Dr. CSR Prabhu garu, who is our course academic director. He will be joining shortly. And we'll start the session with Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram. Vande Mataram. Sujalam Sufalam Malayaj Sitalam Sasya Syamalam Mataram Vande Mataram Subrajosna Pulakitayaminim Pulla kusumita drumadala shobhinim Suhasinim Sumadhura bhashinim Sukhadam varadam mataram Vande mataram Vande mataram. Now I request Vasundhara garu to do the pradhana, please.
Namaskaram. 1 minute meditation, 3 times Omkar, followed by the prayer. गणपतिगुं हवामहे कविं कवीनाम् उपमश्रवस्तमं ज्येष्ठराजं ब्रह्मणान् ब्रह्मणस्पत आनशृण्वन्नोतिभिः सीदसादनम् ॐ श्रीमहागणाधिपतये नमः। ॐ प्रणो देवी सरस्वती वाजेभिर्वाजिनीवती धीनामवित्र्यवतु। ॐ श्रीमहासरस्वत्यै नमः। गुरुरेव गतिः गुरुमेव भजे गुरुणैव सहास्मि नमो गुरवे न गुरुः परमं शिशुरस्मि गुरोः मतिरस्ति गुरौ मां पाहि गुरो ज्ञानानन्दमयं देवं निर्मलस्फटिकाकृतिम् आधारं सर्वविद्यानां हयग्रीवम् उपास्महे श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तः पुनः पुनः ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः मातृदेवो भव पितृदेवो भव आचार्यदेवो भव अतिथिदेवो भव ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्
ధన్యవాదాలండి వసుంధర గారు. థ్యాంక్ యూ వెరీ మచ్ ఫర్ ది ప్రార్థన. నవ్ ఐ రిక్వెస్ట్ ప్రభు గారు టు కంటిన్యూ ది వెబినార్ ప్లీజ్. శుభోదయం.
ఓం నమో బ్రహ్మాదిభ్యో బ్రహ్మ విద్యా సంప్రదాయ కర్తృభ్యో వంశ ఋషిభ్యో మహద్భ్యో నమో గురుభ్యః. So after going down to all our gurus, all the rishis, we start our session today. I will first give you an overview of Upanishads. Then we go into each Upanishad, and if time permits, to Mandukya Upanishad also. Now, as I already explained to you, the Vedas have 4 parts. So the first part is known as Samhita, or the Mantra Bhagam, which is like Suktas, chapters like Purusha Sukta, Smriti Sukta, and so on. And second part of the Vedas is called Brahmana Granthas. Shatapatha Brahmana, Shadvimshati Brahmana, Panchavimshati Brahmana, like that. There are many Brahmana Granthas, which are like lab manuals for the yajnas. The third is the Aranyaka, the forest discussions in the Gurukulas, which are located in the forests. And those discussions resulted in supreme wisdom of Adhyatma Jnana, Brahma Jnana in the form of Upanishads, which is the last part of Veda. That is why it is called Vedanta. Another meaning of it is that it is the final message of the Vedas, the end essence of the Vedas. Vedas are very vast. There is a beautiful slokam on knowledge, Saraswati, Vagdevi, that is Omkara Panjara Sukhi. She is a parrot in a cage called Om. There's a cage with the name Om, and that cage contains the entire knowledge, Saraswati, as a parrot inside that cage. Upanishad Udyana Keli Kalakanti. There is a garden called Upanishads, and there is a koel called Saraswati, which is singing beautifully, coo, coo. And that is Saraswati. That means knowledge in the Upanishads is as beautiful as the musical sound of the coil in a garden by name Upanishads. Third, Agama Vipina Mayuri. She is a peacock dancing in a forest called Vedas. Omkara Panjara Sukhi Upanishadudhyana Keli Kalakanthi Agama Vipina Mayuri Aryamantar Vibhavaye Gauri Dayamana Dirghanayana Deshikarupena Darshadaya. How does she appear? She appears in the form of your own guru, teacher, Deshika. Deshikarupena Darshadaya. For what purpose? Abhyudayam. So that knowledge, the entire knowledge which is there in the Vedas, but very complicated, and that Saraswati is dancing like a peacock. Same knowledge is there in the garden called Upanishads, where she sings like, well, that means it's so appealing. Vedas are as difficult as a forest, huge forest. Now, of course, the entire knowledge is within the Omkaram. Nothing else is required. If you can enlighten yourself through Om itself. So the Upanishads are the expansions of the Om knowledge, Brahman. So the word Upanishads literally means sitting at the feet of the master. You sit like you're all sitting in front of me. This is also an Upanishad. It's a dialogue. It's a conversation. It is a question answering session where questions are raised on fundamental questions of life, of universe, of creation, of everything. So answers are given. So till today, no other texts are as pristine, as pure, as profound, as deep, as exhilarating, as enlivening, as enlightening as the Upanishad. That is universally acknowledged. Then, of course, you may question, what about Bhagavad Gita? What about Brahma Sutras? They are nothing but the knowledge of the Upanishads reformatted in two different ways. One is for the Pandits, for scholars and various topmost saintly philosophers, that is Brahma Sutras. The other form in which it has been rebroadcast is Bhagavad Gita, which is the exact opposite. It is meant for the common folklore, for everybody, for the non-scholars as well. Of course, scholars also, but non-scholars as well. And to anybody and everybody. The same spiritual wisdom is reformatted in the form of Bhagavad Gita for the benefit of the common folks like us. For top scholars, Brahma Sutras have been written by Badarayana Vyasa. And same Vyasa also wrote Bhagavad Gita for common folks like us. So all the three together comprise the Prasthana Traya, Upanishads, Brahma Sutras, and Bhagavad Gita, the core body of Vedanta Darshana. So Darshana is a subject which has many, many Shastras in it. So Gita Shastra is profound, the most profound. We will be covering it later. And the Upanishads are the source of Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutras. So the subject matter in the Upanishads which is spread out in 108 Upanishads, out of which the first 10 are taken as the principal Upanishads, on which Adi Shankaracharya wrote commentaries, and therefore everybody wrote commentaries. Sarvepalli Radhakrishnan wrote in English. After Adi Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya wrote. After Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya wrote. After Madhvacharya, Nimbarkacharya, Vallabhacharya. All the great gurus have written commentaries to Bhagavad Gita and Brahma Sutras, and of course the principal Upanishads, which are the first 10. So now let us get into the first 10 Upanishads names. Please note down, you should always know them. Isha, Ishavasya Upanishad, Kena, Kena Upanishad, Katha, Katha Upanishad, Mundaka, Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya, Mandukya Upanishad, Taitriya Upanishad, Aitreya Upanishad, Varhadaranyaka, Shvetashvet. Of course, Chandogya, Varhadaranyaka, Shvetashvet. Now, what is to be noted is that there are more Upanishads which are equally important and equally profound in presenting the Vedantic wisdom. Out of 108, 46 are Vedanta Upanishads, and some are Sannyasa Upanishads, and 20 are Yoga Upanishads, and the rest are classified as Shaiva Upanishads, Vaishnava Upanishads, and Shaktaya Upanishads. So 108, I have the book with me here. This contains all the 108 original text. So only text, original text, not to speak of commentaries. Originally, there were 1180 Upanishads, but they are all lost. Because Vedas also, we had many shakhas, but today we have only 8 shakhas. And so very limited scope is there. So these Upanishads have survived. Their time period is post-Vedic and pre-Puranic. Upanishads act as the intermediary stage in the formation and evolution of Sanatana Dharma from Vedas into Puranas. In between stand the Upanishads. So the Puranic age, Tihasic age is quite later. That is post or starting with Mahabharata period. But the Upanishads are way before the Mahabharata. That's why they acted as a source of knowledge for Bhagavad Gita. There is nothing wrong in the knowledge being transmitted, transferred, broadcast from Vedas to the Upanishads to the Brahma Sutras and Bhagavad Gita, one after the other. The same wisdom which is there in the Vedas came into Upanishads. Of course, the same thing is there in one single Om, Ek Omkar. So the same wisdom which came from Vedas into Upanishads came down into Bhagavad Gita on one side and Brahma Sutras on the other side. So it is very difficult to understand Brahma Sutras, but it is very easy to understand Bhagavad Gita. But the same knowledge, it is not claimed to be different. Please understand knowledge as a natural flow of in time. Just like water flows down the height, knowledge naturally flows from ancient times to the modern times. What is ancient? What is modern? Today it is modern, we think, but at the time of Bhagavad Gita, the Mahabharata war, that itself was modern. So what was ancient at that time? Upanishads. And at the time of Upanishads, what was ancient? Vedas were ancient. So knowledge of Vedas has flown into the Upanishads. So we have enough evidence to show that Vedas are the original source of the knowledge of the Upanishads. The Vedic mantras contain profound intuitive insights, like when you say Purusha eva idagam sarvam yat bhutam yaccha bhavyam. The Purusha Sukta declares. So, that is what is explained in the Upanishads in plain prose mostly. Sometimes it is poetry, but limited poetry variety. And in case of Svetasvatara Upanishad, they didn't even reformat. They simply collected the mantras of various Vedas like Yajurveda and so on and presented the whole book as an Upanishad which contains nothing but Veda mantras. And in many Upanishads, parts of the Veda mantras have been reproduced in the beginning as Shanti mantras and also inside the core also sometimes. Whereas in Svetasvatara Upanishad, the entire thing is a reproduction, compilation, bibliography of the Veda mantras. So, in the case of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, it is the conversation of Yajnavalkya with his wives Gargi and Maitreyi on one side and Janaka on the other side in the explanation or the statements declaring the nature of the Brahman, nature of the ultimate truth, ultimate reality, beyond what is apparent and manifest. And Brihadaranyaka Upanishad is the largest of all Upanishads. It's very thick. And the Chandogya comes next. So we have postponed these advanced Upanishads to your level 2 advanced course. This is level 1. So in our syllabus here, we are covering only Ishavasya Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, and if possible, Kena Upanishad, and Kathopanishad if possible. So we don't have much time. So we will try to cover. It's not just for covering for covering sake, for exam sake and all that. It's not that. Because you people are not ordinary students. You're all enlightened scholars who are trying to get greater depth and intuition. In fact, some of our participants themselves are well-known speakers. They speak, they write extensively. And some of our participants have been very high officials, directors, director generals, and so on and so forth. I myself was director general, but there are participants who are also director general, IAS officers, IPS officers, medical professionals, scientists, IT professionals, all are there in our participants like you. So we have to understand in depth. It's not just namesake reading and going away. What happens is that the Upanishads are chanted along with the Vedas concerned. The Vedic scholars or the students who learn the Vedas, they will be chanting the Upanishad as well along with the Veda. Like Taittiriya Upanishad is chanted and Ishavasya Upanishad is chanted along with the Veda. So now the point is that the chanting alone is good to hear. It will have some effects in terms of the sound frequencies and so on. But understanding is more important. Most of the people who chant do not understand, unfortunately, and they cannot explain. If you look at the Brahmin priests, even they may be very knowledgeable in chanting, but they are not able to explain. Let alone in English, they'll not be able to explain even in Telugu or Hindi or so it is very difficult for them to understand because it's philosophy. It is not just chanting, just for namesake chanting. So the deep philosophy in the Vedic mantras which they chant has been brought out and coherently presented in a well-defined, organized manner in the Upanishads. Because the knowledge in the Vedas, which is very deep and very profound, but very ancient, and therefore it is mysterious and it is not understandable even to scholars. So at that time, so the Upanishads are coming to us from a very, very ancient time. We don't know exactly, but at least 10,000 years, if not more, because Bhrigu is one of the characters in Taittiriya Upanishad, main character, and he is dated to be around 10,000 BC. And his house is there in Dosi Hill, and that is in Brahmavarta area. That is the area near Haryana and Rajasthan. So, the Ishavasya Upanishad is also very ancient. It is considered as part of the uh, Yajurveda Samhita, the Shukla Yajurveda Samhita. Uh, so now I will, you can ask me general questions about the introduction which I gave at the end. In addition, now I'll start the main Upanishad, the Ishavasya Upanishad. So in our syllabus, we have to cover only Ishavasya, Mandukya, and Taittiriya, and only three are to be covered. In the time we have, we will try to cover the three. So Ishavasya Upanishad is the very first Upanishads in all the 108 Upanishads, in all the books printed. It will appear as the very first. Vajasaneya, that is Shukla Yajurveda. Ayurveda has two parts, A and B. So A is Krishna Ayurveda, B is Shukla Ayurveda. In Andhra Pradesh, Krishna Ayurveda is studied, and in North India, Shukla Ayurveda is studied. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. This is the Shanti mantra for the Shukla Yajurveda. So we start with, after prostrating to all gurus, in all chantings, in all Upanishads, Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha. That's the first sentence. Then the Shanti mantra is, for every Upanishad, there is a particular Shanti mantra which is attached to that particular Veda. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Purnamada Purnamidam. Ada means that. Ida means this. So that is Purna and this is Purna. And this Purna, having come out of that Purna, the Purna still remains the Purna. Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Avasesha is balance, residue is also Purna. 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. That is, 0 is not nihilism, but totality, Purna. So this is the most profound declaration of the ultimate truth. That remains Brahman, God, Ishvara, the source of the manifest universe, the unmanifest source. It is Shiva, you can say, or you can say Narayana, you can say anything you want. And from that came this Purna, this Srishti. That is what is shown in Padmanabha. Brahma came out of the navel of Narayana. This Srishti came out of that Avyakta. And even after this Srishti came out, that Brahman, Parabrahman remains the same. It's not that 1 minus 1 is equal to 0, but it is 0 minus 0 is equal to 0. 0 is not nothingness, but it is everythingness. Purna. So how is it possible? Because it is not finite. And if you say even infinity is such a thing. It is Purna if you take, then Purna minus Purna is equal to Purna. But in this case, it is the Maya manifestation. This universe is a temporary projection apparently existing as real from the true, real, unmanifest Purna. So this is all about the Shanti Mantra. Now we'll get into the core body of Ishavasya Upanishad. Om Ishavasya sarvam yatkinchid jagatyan jagat. Ishavasya sarvam yatkinchid jagatyam jagat. Tena tyaktena bhunjidha magradha kasya svidhanam. Tena tyaktena bhunjidha magradha kasya svidhanam. Kurvanneeva karmani jijivechhagum samaha evam tvayidanyadhestve nanyadhetosti na karma nalipyate. Asuryanamate loka andhena tamasa vrita Sankte pretyabhigachanti yeke chatmahanojana. Now each one is a very big source of wisdom. Each of these statements, one by I studied 3 or 4. Ishavasyam idagam sarvam. Idagam sarvam. This thing, this whole reality universe which you see, what appears in front of you is Isha Avasyam. It is spread with Ishvara. It is a residence of Ishvara. Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyaktamurtina matsthani sarvabhutani natva mayi. Ahamatma gudakesha sarvabhutashaya sthitaha ahamadincha madhyancha bhutanam antayevacha. Sarvam khalvidam brahma. The Mahavakya. All these mean the same thing. That this universe is spread, is resided by, is the residence of, pervasion of Isha, Ishvara. Simple words, God, Bhagavan, is spread everywhere. It belongs to Him. It is He actually who is there. He means it, you can say. You can say He also, she also, it also. So now that Brahma Padartham, Isha, Avasyamidagam Sarvam, Yatkinchit Jagatyan Jagat. Any little thing, Yatchakinchit Jagat Sarvam, Drishyate Sruyate Piva, Antarvahishcha Tat Sarvam Vyapya, Narayana Sthitaha. The Veda is very, very clear about it. Same thing is being told here. Yaccha kinchit jagat sarvam drishyate shruyate piva. Because there is a lot of universe which cannot be seen by you but can only heard. The sounds and so on. Even the entire thing, what is visible and what is not visible but only audible. Yaccha jagat sarvam drishyate shruyate piva. Antarbahishcha tat sarvam vyapya. Inside and outside, everywhere spread. Narayana sthitaha. Anantam avyayam kavim samudrentam vishvashambhuvam. So, the same thing is being explained here. Ishavasyamidagam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyan jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha magridha kasya svidhanam. Therefore, don't grab anybody else's money. Not only money, the equivalent of money can be any resource. Don't grab anything because it doesn't belong to you. Everything belongs to God. Because Panchabhutatmakam Vishwam Marichi Jala Sannibham Kasyapyaho Namaskuryam Ahameko Niranjanaha. This is what Dattatreya says. Only the pure self is reality, and that is Brahman. I am Atma Brahma. And the apparent universe is a Maya projection, non-existent in the absolute sense, though it is existent in the relative sense. And it appears different to different people at different times, based on their own perceptions and their own background and vasanas and karma. But on the whole, therefore, it is not real. Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satyam, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. The core Advaita Siddhanta, which is summarized in this sentence, Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satyam, Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha, is having its origin and source in statements in the Upanishads, many of them like this, Ishavasyam idagam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bhunjitha ma grihakasya kirtanam svidha kurvannehe karmani jijiveshya shadagam samah. Evam tainanyathe na karma naripyate. So the core principle of Karma Yoga, which is propounded later in a big way by Lord Krishna in the third chapter of Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, third chapter, fourth chapter. It is actually propounded in its seed form in the Isavasya Upanishad and nowhere else. So this being the case, that the entire universe, everything is Ishvara only, Ishvaras only, is spread by Ishvara, owned by Ishvara. What is that you will do as an individual Jiva? You can't claim anything as your own, including your own body, because your body is made up of the Panchabhutas, which are in nature, and that nature is owned and manifestation of Ishvara, not you. So you go on doing your duty, your dharma, your karma. You cannot stop doing karma. Kurvanne heva karmani. Go on doing your karma as per your dharma, as per your past karma. Your new karma will come as per your dharma. You perform your new karma. Kurvanne heva karmani jijiveshya sama. All these long years of your life, you go on performing your duties, your dharma as karma, without attachment. Tyaktva karma phala sangam nityatrupto nirashraya karmanyabhipravrittopi naiva kinchit karoti saha. So even if you do big tasks, achievements, you will not be affected if you do with the detachment of the result, not the detachment of the action. Action for action's sake, action for perfection's sake. Yoga karma su kaushalam. You go on performing perfection, with skill. Great. Abhipravrittopi. Great tasks you can achieve. Like Krishna achieved a world war implementation to result in the re-establishment of dharma, because of which we are sitting here today and talking to each other. Otherwise, there would have been total destruction due to the adharma. Dharma samsthapanarthaya. So, loka sangraharthaya, that is for the benefit of the loka sangraha, that is society, not for yourself, for others. You live for others, you work for others. If you do that, that karma will not bind you. Na karma na lipyate. This is exactly karma yoga, which has been expanded, commented in so many ways. Later, Krishna gave a big form to karma yoga, which is suggested in the Ishavasya Upanishad and nowhere else in the Upanishad. That is an interesting. Because other Upanishads are not bothered of this aspect of what you are going to do. They are only bothered of what is the truth. It's an inquiry process. Here it is an instruction process of how to live life is also being given. Asurya namate loka andhena tamasavruta tamste pretyabhigachanti yeke chatmahano jana. So it is shocking to see that this Upanishad knows what is going on today in the world. Today, what is going on? The Jana people, what they are doing? Atmahano Jana. They are killing themselves. There is continuous conflict, there is continuous attack, one over the other. Finally, both will die. What is happening in Pakistan? What has happened in Ukraine? What is happening in Ukraine? Why it is happening? What is happening in Israel? They kill each other, or sometimes they kill themselves. Both are same. Atmahano Jana. Because they live in Andhena Tamasavrita Asurya Namate Loka. They live in darkness. Tamasoma Jyotirgamaya, we have talked. In ignorance of the fact that there is only oneness and that is Ishvara, and you are not different from it, and therefore you love the universe and you serve the universe. You serve the society without knowing these fundamental facts given in just 2 lines. People are living in worlds of darkness and they are killing each other, killing themselves. अनेजदेकं मनसो जनीयो नैव देवा आप्नुवन् पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतोऽन्यानत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नापो मातरिश्वा दधाति तदेजति तन्नैजति तद्दूरे तद्वन्तिके तदन्तरश्च बहिः सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वस्यास्य बाह्यतः यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतान्यात्मन्येवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते. Again, there are two perspectives. One is the vastu sthiti. What is the nature of the absolute reality, Brahma Padardham, Ishvara consciousness? What is its nature? So he has defined something very close to quantum field or unified field in quantum theory, quantum physics. There are many extraordinary properties. Entanglement is the most intriguing property. In entanglement, somehow two different particles are connected, though they are separated by thousands of kilometers. So there is some kind of intelligence which makes them entangled. So the Einstein tried to give unified field theory because there are three major forces, fields: gravitation, electrostatic, electromagnetic, and weak forces, nuclear forces. So all the three together, he tried to integrate as a unified field, which could possibly be quantum field. So that is being described here very surprisingly. And what it says is that tadejati tannayajati tadure tadvantike tadantarascha vahischa tadupasyas asya sarvataha is inside, outside, here, there, tadantarasya sarvasya tadu sarvasyasya bahyataha. Everywhere, everything is only that. And this is the vastu sthiti, brahma vastu. And this is what is being presented in quantum physics today. And once you know it, that you are that, you are the unified field, you are the quantum field, the pure consciousness, Chaitanyam, Atma Tattvam, Brahma Tattvam. Then what will happen? Yastu sarvani bhutani atmanyeva anupashyati. You see everyone within yourself. Sarva bhuteshu chatmanam. You see in everything yourself and yourself in everything. That means I and you are same. I and everything is same. Aham brahmasmi. That is the meaning here. Yastu sarvani bhutanyatmanyeva sarva bhuteshu cha atmanam tato na vijugapsate. If you can do it, then you will not be disgusted with anything. Because disgust is the root cause of friction and conflict. Every person thinks the other person is a nuisance or the other thing is a nuisance. Vijugupsa, disgust, and therefore there is a hatred, and that results to conflict. All conflicts are happening. You take Gaza Strip. The Arabs and the Hebrews, they have been there for such a long time. In fact, they all have common origin. But still, they'll be fighting and killing each other. And India and Pakistan, husband and wife, boss and subordinate, father and son, brother and brother, sister and sister. The continuous conflict. All conflicts in the world are due to this fact that you are disgusted with your neighbor, whosoever it is. So if you realize your neighbor and you are one and the same, then you will love your neighbor. And your neighbor will not be your enemy, but your friend. And if your enemy is your friend, then there is happiness. So Vasudhaika Kutumbakam comes from this fundamental thought. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhudvijanatah. Yasmin sarvani bhutani atmaiva bhudvijanatah. Tatra ko moha ko shokah ekatvam anupashyatah. The moment you see that oneness, Advaita sthiti, Brahmi sthiti, Esha Brahmi sthiti Partha, Sthitva syam antakalepi Brahma nirvana mrichyati. So one, Esha Brahmi sthiti Partha naivam prapya vimuhyati. That's what he is telling here. Tasya ko mohaha ko shokaha ekatvam anupashyataha. How can there be delusion and misery and sorrow for that person who can see oneness? Because he loves the neighbors around him. He loves his wife, he loves his brother, he loves his father, he loves his son, he loves his boss. Atma vai putra namasi, you are become your son. So, where is the conflict? Kam mohaha, kas shokaha, ekatvam anupashyataha. Paryagat shukramagayam avranam asnavim shuddham apapa vidham. The nature of Brahman is purity, white light, and ananda sthiti. Kavihi, wisdom, it's full of knowledge. Satyam jnanam anantam brahma. Manishi paribhu swayambhu. Yadha tadhyato adhan yadadhascha shashvati samahya. He who knows this, he who gets the God realization, he will be in blissful state for his whole life, for a long time, 100 years. Andhantama pravishanti ye avidyamupasate. On the contrary, those who worship avidya, they are living in darkness. Andhantama pravishanti ye avidyamupasate tato bhuya iva te tamoya uvidyayam vrata. Those, on the contrary, who are enjoying the vidya instead of avidya, they are in a higher plane, they are in contrast, they are in a superior state of existence and life. Anyadevahur vidyaya anyadahur avidyaya iti susrumadhiranam yenastat vichachakshire vidyancha vidyancha yattadvedo bhayam saha yastadvedo ubhayam saha avidyaya mrutyum tirtva vidyaya amrutamashnute. What is this? It's a very shocking statement, you may think. But no, you have to understand correctly. There are many interpretations. One interpretation which I am going to give you is avidya is nothing but non-spiritual knowledge. That means knowledge of physics, chemistry, mathematics, medicine, engineering, vagara, 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 which we are studying all our life. That is avidya. This is mentioned in the Bhagavad Gita also. So, vidya is sa vidya ya vimuktaye, that which will liberate you. All this is knowledge, all right, but it is ignorance because it is not going to give you liberation. The only vidya which gives you liberation is called vidya, and that is adhyatma vidya vidyanam. So, adhyatma vidya is vidya, and through avidya, through medicine, through engineering, through science, through artificial intelligence, through XYZ subjects, you may be able to cross or extend or transcend or reach the other side of death. Avidyaya mrutyum tirtva vidyaya amrutamashnu. But amrutatva you cannot reach. Amrutatva is immortality. You are the children of immortality. In fact, oh, Amrutasya putra, Upanishad exclaims, you are the children of immortality, and that you will be able to get only through vidya. Vidyam cha yattad vedo bhayam saha avidyaya mrutyum tirtva vidyaya amrutamasnute. Andhantama pravishanti ye sambhuti mupasate tato bhuya iva te tamoya sambhutya rata anyadevahu sambhavad anyadahu asambhavad iti susrumadhiranam yenastad vichachakshire sambhutincha vinashamcha yastad vedo ubhayam saha vinashena mrutyum tetva sambhutya mrutamasnute. Again, there is a riddle here. Vinashena mrutyum tetva sambhutya mrutamasnute. Sambhuti and asambhuti. Same thing which I told just now. Sambhutincha vinashamcha yastad vedo bhayamsa. Creation and destruction. Srishti, Sthiti, Laya, all the three are continuously happening. This very minute which we are right now talking to each other, there are thousands and thousands of births taking place and thousands of deaths taking place at the same time. Sambhutim cha vinasham cha yattad vedo bhayam saha vinashena mrutyum tirtva sambhutya amrutam asnute. Same thing which we told. You may cross or you may go through death, tirtva, but you will not become immortal with vinasha. That which is destructible cannot give you immortality. Only the ultimate creation, ultimate nature will give you immortality. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukham tattvatam tattvam bhushanna pravam satya dharmaya drishtaye. There is a golden vessel and the truth is covered in it. Oh, Pushan. Pushan is one of the names of Paramatma in the Veda. Hey, Pushan. Apavrunu. You remove the cover. Satyasya apihitam mukham. The truth is in the golden vessel. It's covered up. Remove the cover, oh Lord. So that what will happen? Satya dharmaya drishtaye. For visibility, for me to see the Satya and Dharma. Dharma means set of principles which sustain the universe. Satya is the laws, truths of the universe. Let me see the truths and the laws of the universe and the principles of sustainability. Satya and Dharma, which is hidden in the golden vessel. Hiranmayena patrena. You remove the cover. Let me see. Pushanne akarsheyam asurya prajapatyavyuha asmin samoha tejo yatte rupam kalyanatamam. O Pushan, O Paramatma, your form is the most supreme, blissful, welfare, kalyanatamam. Tatte pasyami. Yo asau purushaha sohamasmi. I am that Purusha. Vayuraniram amritam adheram bhasmantagam sariram. This body will become ashes. It is made up of Panchabhutas, Vayuraniram. Bhasmantagam sariram. Om krato smara, kratam smara, krato smara, kratang smara. Let me remember, let me remember, let me remember. Agne, this is a Veda mantra. Agne naya supadharaye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidwan. Vidwan, the scholar, the teacher, the guru will uncover the truths in the whole universe and lead us. O Paramatma, lead us. Yayodhyasma jaharana meno bhuyishtante nama uktim vidhema. All that we can do is to put a namaskaram. Nama uktim vidhema. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. So the Ishavasya Upanishad is covered by me in my own capacity, in my own way. It may not be definitely the perfect way. It is imperfect and incomplete and it is partial. I admit, and not only me, but any speaker will be in the same condition because he cannot do 100% justice. Nobody can. It's so profound. So, shall I stop here and go for discussion?
Yeah, it's 7:30. So we still have 15 minutes before we can start the question and answer session.
No, question is, see, because I cannot start a new Upanishad.
Yeah,
Upanishad
I
is
know.
big.
Okay, I'll open the forum for the question and answer session in case people have. Please raise your hand and ask questions so that we can take up the questions on today's class. If there are no questions, then for next 20, yeah. Narsimurti garu, you can ask your question.
Sir, can we have the slokas and their meaning in any place we can find?
Yes, you please read Ramakrishna Math publications of
Okay.
the 10 Upanishads, 8 Upanishads, 10 Upanishads.
Okay. Okay.
Nowhere you will get 108 Upanishads. It's not possible.
Oh, no, yeah.
So you take the first one is this only. First one, Ishavasya separately also they have published.
Okay.
Of
So
course, there are
basically,
different interpretations, but all finally mean same.
finally the same meaning is conveyed. Okay, so thank you so much.
Radha Kumar garu.
Namaste, sir.
Hmm.
Sir, my question is regarding practicality of this Upanishad because I have been a student of Gandhian studies who used to refer to this Upanishad every time. And he believed that no one is your enemy. As you told just now, that you have to think of your neighbor like it is just you, the only self. But what if your neighbor does not consider you like I always struggle with this thing. I meet people who criticize Gandhi like anything, and whenever I talk of this Vedantic philosophy Gandhi believed in, they would say that Gandhi had that self both, but he did not have Shatru both. So we need both the things, self both and Shatru both. And if we talk to leftist scholars, then they would tell that you, by having the Shatru both, you are actually othering the people. So I do not know which path
So
is
what is that? What is just now you said last left? What is that? Say again.
last. Leftist side would say that if you talk of Shatru bodh, then you are othering people. Like you consider people as others, which are not part of you. So you are exclusivist, and that's how you start narrowing your own definition.
So that
And
means the
you,
leftists are agreeing for the Vedantic position of oneness, is it?
sir, they don't believe in Vedanta. I don't think they believe in Vedanta, but for example, for minorities, for Pakistan, for China, for anything, if you, they would say that you are othering.
No. That means they're justifying the oneness. So they could, which
They
is
do not
given.
understand philosophy of oneness, but they uh, because in their philosophy, because if I go by their philosophy, Marx himself talked of killing left capitalist, and then they forget this othering thing.
No. See, I tell you, this is a very interesting research topic you have raised. I'm happy you raised this topic. You see, the oneness concept is there in every spiritual text. Okay? It is
Yes.
there. It is there in every Upanishad. It is there in Bhagavad Gita. It is there in the Vedas. It is there in every text, not only Hindu text, but in Bible also it is there. Do you know this? Do
No,
you
sir.
know? I'll tell you right now. There is a statement in Good Samaritan story in Bible. Thou shalt love thy Lord thy God with all thy soul, with all thy body and all thy mind, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Have you heard of this? So this is exactly what is there in our literature. They have just copied. I told this to the Archbishop of Canterbury in his presence. I was invited to meet him. He said, yes, that's true. And that is there in the Gita, it is there in the Upanishads, it is there in the Veda, everywhere it is there. Way before Bible. So, in fact, even the concept of socialism, or which is the theory behind communism and Marx theory, it is basically intuitively addressing oneness only. Because if you don't have equality, oneness is the cause of equality. Equality is the bedrock of socialism. Am I right?
Yes.
So, and equality is the bedrock of present Constitution of India too. Equality, fraternity, all these are the fundamental bedrock principles. So, how will you get equality without oneness? Tell me. So, oneness is therefore fundamental requirement, and it is a valid fact. Uh, Even common sense is that if you don't recognize oneness, like if you are a very rich person, you are a capitalist, you are very rich, and you are surrounded by all poor people, then what will happen? They will attack you. That's exactly what is October Revolution, socialism, and all that is all about. So if the rich man starts thinking, like in India, it never happened. Why it never happened? Because in India, they kept on giving charities. All the rich people in every yajna, even in the Upanishads, Uddalaka performs Vajpayee yajna, where he distributes all his possessions as charity. And finally, Nachiketa, whose son, asked him, Baba, मुझे किसको देगा? तो वो बोला, मैं आपको यमराज को दे दूंगा. तो इस तरह वो होता है. So he has given up everything. And even Rantideva performed a yajna where he gave up everything to all the people, you know. So this continuous process of alms giving or charity giving, dhanam, was very, very, very strongly emphasized. So much so, there was no poverty in India. And this fact was recorded by the British. I think Macaulay or somebody submitted a report. I went around the whole country. I never saw a single beggar nor a single thief. So that even till British time, that was the situation. Not to speak of earlier times. Earlier times, there is so much of wealth and so much of gold. So the fundamental root of the principle of socialistic thought is in unity, oneness of the society. That cannot be denied. This has to be explained to the leftists.
And sir, how to defend Gandhi when he's criticized for being sympathetic towards minority or towards any country like Pakistan?
No, you see, Gandhi is being criticized only now, not previously. See, previously also some people might have been there, but very few. I know since my childhood, I am born in 1954, just close to independence. My father, mother participated in freedom struggle and they lost everything. My mother gave her entire jewelry to Gandhi in hand, in person. And my father boycotted education and he was beaten up and taken to jail. So Gandhi is like a god to all the freedom fighters. He might have done a few mistakes. I'm not disputing that. But on the whole, he is like God. He's worshipped like God. The Gandhians. I have studied my experiments with truth and various other books. I went to Varda. I meditated in his room in Varda and all that. I got a certain inspiration from there. I implemented one project called E-Panchayat, based on inspiration I got. So all this is to say, only of late certain narratives are being spread, saying that Gandhi was this, Gandhi was that, and it is unpalatable, unutterable. It's horrible. I'm not denying he might have done some mistakes, but that doesn't mean he's a villain and he should be removed from the Jati Pita and the father of the nation status and replace him with somebody else. That is the whole idea, right? I don't want to tell any further on this. The point is that it is being twisted and misunderstood or misinterpreted. So Gandhi was inspired by Bhagavad Gita only, and his writings are very clearly bringing out the Hindu philosophy. So there's no two opinions about it. Of course, the actions he did in favor of Muslims, in favor of Pakistan, they led to his murder. So that is a dispute. That is a political issue. It's not a philosophical issue. So if you talk of philosophical issue, if you go into the philosophy in the Quran, I have got friends who are top experts in Quran. Nobody is more knowledgeable than that. They themselves are telling that it is nothing but the Vedic philosophy which was reformatted in the Quran, but also added with many new things. In fact, there is a word called Deenul Qayyum in the Quran. This Deen, that is Dharma, Qayyum is Sanatana Dharma. The word is there. And they are mentioning about Vedas also. Awwal, first book. And we are not telling anything new. We are only continuing to repeat what was there. Like this, there are certain statements in the Quran. I don't know Bible. I mean, I don't know Quran. I know Bible to some extent, but in Quran, because it's all in Arabic, it's all highly Arabic based. If you don't know Arabic, you cannot understand Quran. It's completely ununderstandable. Of course, there are a lot of violence and wars, and the usual criticism of Quran, promoting war with those 24 ayats promoting violence against non-Muslims, which was submitted in Calcutta High Court and all that. What these people are telling is that those statements do not refer to any other context except their own internal war at that time. So it is the war which is among the same family members. As per the story, Muhammad is supposed to be the family member of Qurayshis, right? Who were the owners of Makkah and Makkah temple and rulers. So it is their family strife where Muhammad's superiority is what was the issue. He became the Khalifa after defeating his own family members, Qurayshis, in Makkah. So that war between his own family members, their own people, that is what is described there, and it is not relevant or applicable to any other time or any other location or any other context or any other community. This is what these people are telling me. I am not saying this. They are telling because they are experts in Quran. And they are saying also many other things. Like first thing they are saying is that the present day Islam which is being presented in India is Arabic identity emphasis. Whereas that is not valid. Even as per Quran, you need not have only Arabic identity and not Indian identity. So the moment you have Indian identity and accept your roots, that means all the Indian Muslims accept their Indian identity, or even Pakistani Muslims. Like Pakistan Muslims, they think they are not Indians. They are not Hindus originally. They think they are Arabs only, which is not true. So Pakistan, India, they are all Hindus originally, and this fact has to be understood, accepted, acknowledged, and declared. The moment it is declared, and even not only originally, even today, even as Muslims, they are Hindu in culture, that in identity. Once they admit it, they declare it, 90% of the problem is solved. The remaining 10% will be solved when you see a lot of commonalities. The Nu or Nova is none other than Vaivasvatamanu. And Adam is none other than Swayam Bhavamanu. Eve is none other than Shatarupa. So this is what they are telling. with many evidences. So the moment you get into this kind of a mold, then you see that they are Hindu Muslims. Though they are Muslims, they are called nationalist Muslims, patriotic Muslims, and they are Hindus. So the divide is lost. And the divide, even earlier, even in the case of Ayodhya temple colony, it was created by leftist historians, not by Muslims as much. So this is all confusion, and this has to be clarified. And this is what I have been trying to do. I was in Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh for the last 1 week. I have been giving lectures in Hindi, in Chhatrapur and other places. So I have been clarifying this point. Because if you look at, for example, namaz, entire namaz is yogasanas, Vajrasana, Shashankasana, then Surya Namaskar, and all kinds of things. So the word namaz itself is Sanskrit, namaskar, namaz. It's not an Arabic word. So there are a lot of falsehood which was being spread in terms of the identity, origin of Indian Muslims, which has to be corrected, and even Pakistani Muslims. Once it is done, like for example, Pakistan, once they realize, once they admit that they are one and the same as Hindus, then the conflict will automatically stop. Who are those people? They just went from here, many of them. Even the big ministers, they just went from here, from Hyderabad, from Bhopal, from Delhi, from Uttar Pradesh, everywhere. I mean, they want to forget all that and they behave as if they're some kind of Arabs. And if they visit Arabia, they don't recognize them as Arabs. They'll say you are Hindi. Even Indian Muslims, they're called Hindi Muslims then once they go there. So it's all confusion and total misrepresentation and mess, which has to be clarified. All clutter has to be clarified. Okay? Very good question. You can pursue as a research project. I can discuss with you more on this later.
Okay, thank you very much, Prabhu garu. Gautam Mukherjee, please unmute and be brief, please.
नमस्कार गुरुजी
नमस्कार।
नमस्कार।
बहुत दिन हो गया आपका
बहुत दिन।
आवाज सुन के, बहुत दिन हो गए।
Sir, actually, I have a confusion
हाँ,
that all the sciences like physics, chemistry, mathematics, and so on, you told as avidya, but actually, but because of this, we are talking like this in Zoom meeting. You are so far, and even around the globe, people can join in Zoom meeting. So much technology. So instead of avidya, I think avidya is if some scientists think that that is all. There is nothing called atma, or there is not, these philosophies are all wrong. I think that point of view is avidya. Not these physics, chemistry, mathematics are avidya, but thinking that those are the everything in the universe. That part of this thing, and there is nothing like this observer's point of view. The knowledges acquired by dhyana and this yoga and so on. This Gita. These are not there. There is a Alik, Atma doesn't exist. Ishwar doesn't exist. This kind of thing is called avidya. Please comment on this.
yeah, good question. It's a matter of terminology. See, if you look at please look at the Mundaka Upanishad. I taught once Mundaka Upanishad also. In the Mundaka Upanishad, entire knowledge has been divided into two parts: Paravidya and Aparavidya. Okay, you remember? I think you
Yeah.
were there. Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
that Paravidya is called Vidya in Ishavasya Upanishad. Okay, Paravidya means spiritual knowledge, Atma Vidya, Brahma Vidya. Okay, whereas Aparavidya, the word para means transcendental, that which is higher, high. So that is transcendental Paravidya is called Vidya in Ishavasya. And Aparavidya, which is mentioned in the Mundaka Upanishad, is called Avidya in Ishavasya. Because, so only that Vidya which leads to Mukti, Sa Vidya ya Vimuktaye, that which leads to Moksha is called Vidya. and all the rest is called avidya. Even the Indian knowledge systems, like we have we have so many shastras, Shilpa Shastra, and so on and so forth. Ayurveda, medical, everything is called aparavidya, non-transcendental, mundane. In that sense, you are right. What you said is right. So, all vidyas which do not bother about addressing the supreme transcendental wisdom of the self, Atma. You are right in saying that. Are called avidya in Ishavasya Upanishad. They are called aparavidya in Mundaka Upanishad. So, in fact, in Bhagavad Gita, they are called ignorance. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam satya jnana artha darshanam etad jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yatato anyadha. Adhyatma jnana nityatvam satya jnana artha darshanam etad jnanam. Only this is jnanam. Ajnanam yatato anyadha. All the rest is ajnana, he said.
No, sir.
So the word, that same terminology of ajnana, Bhagavad Gita, avidya in Ishavasya Upanishad, aparavidya in Mundaka Upanishad. So it is not, because you see, these things are objective knowledge, not subjective knowledge. The Atma Vidya, they are not Atma Vidya.
Yes.
They are not Brahma Vidya. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Now, Seshagiri Garu, please be brief. Yeah.
Namaste, Guruji. I have not understood the two things. One is the meaning of Purna Mada, Purna Vidam, Purna Vidachyate. And the second one is you said the two prospect is one entanglement and another one I didn't follow.
No. There are multiple properties. You just see quantum physics. Entanglement is one of the properties. Entanglement transcends distance. Superposition is another property. The same quantum bit will appear in different ways and all that kind of thing. You please study quantum physics summary. I will share one post in the group also. So superposition having 8 states. Normally we have only 2 states, 0 or 1, right?
Yes,
Here
sir.
there are 8 states in quantum physics and quantum computing. And the
Sure.
other is entanglement. The two particles which are totally separated by thousands of kilometers will have some kind of relation. If you change that particle, this particle also will change.
Oh,
See,
understood.
this is something like, mother and child. Mother and child, they may be separated by thousands of kilometers, but mother will know what is happening to the child. You know that?
Understood.
So that kind of a thing. So this is nobody knows how it is and why it is. And in fact, in quantum physics, there are many things like that. Whether electron is particle or wave, both. It is both. Sometimes it appears as particle, sometimes it appears wave. Whether light is particle or wave, it appears as wave in normal wave, but if you conduct a particular experiment called photoelectric effect, it will appear as particle. So the dual nature of matter and energy, every particle is also a wave, every wave is also a particle, like that. So these things, in quantum physics, quantum mechanics, everything goes beyond common sense and sensory perception and common inference. So that is where Vedanta comes in picture. Gautam Mukherjee, you must be knowing what I am talking about. So this that is where the consciousness comes into picture, the observer comes into picture. Even in quantum mechanics, they have accepted observer and consciousness. And now coming to the same thing is explained in Purnamada, Purnamidam, Purnat Purna. That is Purna. That means Bhagavan, Ishvara, Brahman is Purna. And this, the universe which you see, is also Purna. And this came from that. Even after coming, that remains same. It doesn't become zero. I mean, zero means nothing. It not become nothingness. So it is Purnatvam, totality, infinity plus infinity, that kind of thing. Okay.
Purna is equal to Purna, sir. That is, it
Yeah.
doesn't. Oh, understood. Understood.
Okay.
Thank
Thank you. Suresh Garu, you can ask a question. Please be fast and crisp. We don't have time.
Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. On the Shanti Mantra, Guruji, the Shanti Mantra is associated with Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. I'm just curious, what was the basis for this becoming the Shanti Mantra for Ishavasya Upanishad?
No,
Is it because the part of the Shukla Yajurveda?
No, the Vajasaneya, this is that is Shukla Yajurveda. So this is the Shanti Mantra taken from Shukla Yajurveda, and the Ishavasya Upanishad is in the Shukla Yajurveda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Vidyadhar Singh, you come. Your question, fast question, please. Yeah.
सर नमस्कार, काफी देर से वेट कर रहा था मैं। थोड़ा जनरल क्वेश्चन है सर, बट इस टॉपिक
Okay,
से रिलेटेड है। सर इंडिया में जैसे मैं जितना समझ पा रहा हूँ सर, हम इस चीज में रहे हैं, वेदा, गीता, आत्मा, उपनिषद, इस तरह की चीजें रही हैं सर हमारे पास। दूसरे कंट्री हैं सर, जो इजराइल है, यूएसए है, रशिया है
जी,
और मुझे नहीं लगता ये इन चीजों में इतने ज्यादा होंगे। लेकिन आज एक 90 लाख की आबादी वाला कंट्री बहुत अच्छे से सरवाइव कर रहा है अपनी सराउंडिंग के साथ।
जी,
वो ठीक है या दूसरे ठीक है, मैं उस इश्यू में नहीं जा रहा हूँ। तो क्या हमें सर्वाइवल के लिए ये जो चीजें मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, जैसे ईश्वर है, ब्रह्म है, सत्य है, पहली बात तो सर मेरा थोड़ा विश्वास हिलसा जाता है कि मेरा बेस क्या है। मतलब एक बिल्डिंग है सर, वो 10 फीट गहरी उसकी नींव है, 20 फीट है, तो हम सोच सकते हैं इतने फ्लोर तक वो जा सकती है। यहाँ पे सर इन चीजों को मेरे लिए बड़ा मुश्किल सा हो जाता है। इजराइल के लोग हैं सर, वो आज के दिन एकदम से बता सकते हैं कि इंडिया में जो एम्बेसडर पे अटैक हुआ है वो ईरान के लोगों ने किया है 1 घंटे के अंदर। यहाँ की पुलिस को नहीं पता लगता है।
नहीं, क्या बोला?
इंडिया में सर इजराइल एम्बेसडर की कार पे अटैक होता है, बम लगाया जाता है। विदिन 1 आवर वो वहां से मैसेज आ जाता है कि ये कुछ ईरानी हैं, उनका काम है, और आखिर में वही निकलते हैं। आई मीन सर कि उनका जो नॉलेज है सर, जिसको हमने एकदम से बड़ा बोल दिया अविद्या, बड़ा अजीब सा शब्द है सर मेरे लिए, सॉरी, मैं साइंस बैकग्राउंड से हूँ थोड़ा। तो ये अविद्या तो चलो दे दिया, जो भी है ए और बी दे दिया कि ये अध्यात्म ज्ञान ए है, ये बी है। लेकिन ये जो सर हम यहाँ पे आप दे रहे हैं सर, बहुत अच्छा है। मेरी भी जिज्ञासा है कि क्या है भाई ये सनातन, मैं भी जानूं यार, बेसिक चीज मेरे पेरेंट्स ने नहीं बताया, मुझे नहीं पता, मैं बच्चों को क्या दूं।
क्या प्रश्न है आपका?
सर मेरा प्रश्न ये है कि हमारा ऑब्जेक्ट क्या है, आप क्यों दे रहे हैं, मैं इस ज्ञान को क्यों ले रहा हूँ, ये चीजें कहाँ जा रही हैं। मैं सर वहां उलझा हुआ हूँ। जैसे आपने कहा कि शत्रु मित्र सब भाव रखें, सर शत्रु मित्र कैसे भाव रखें? 7 अक्टूबर 2013 को इजराइल पे रातों रात अटैक कर दिया,
ठीक है, मैं समझ गया।
तो वो रिएक्शन तो करें नहीं सर, तो कैसे बैलेंस करें सर?
मैं आपको समग्र रूप से उत्तर दूंगा।
प्लीज सर, प्लीज।
ऐसा है, इनको आपसी में बहुत बड़ा शत्रुता है, इजराइल और ईरान, या इजराइल और हमास वगैरह। हमास तो ईरान का ही कृति है। तो ईरान और इजराइल में काफी दिन से, मतलब कई शताब्दियों से शत्रुता है। तो इसका मूल जड़ में जाके बात करेंगे, ठीक है? ये जो मैं बोलने वाला हूं, ये सारा समस्या का, ये जटिल समस्या का समाधान बन सकता है। तो अब सुनिए, गौर से सुनिए। ये जो हमारे ऋग्वेद है ना, ऋग्वेद, ठीक है, और ऋग्वेद सबसे पुराना है, वो सब लोग मानते हैं। ऋग्वेद में एक युद्ध हुआ है, 10 राज युद्ध, जिसमें 10 राज एक राजा के खिलाफ युद्ध किए हैं और हार गए थे। सो जो लोग हार गए वो हमारे भरत भूमि से के बाहर गए थे, वही लोग हैं ईरानी, इराकी और ये जो ग्रीक वगैरह। तो हमारे ही लोग हैं। तो ईरानी और हम एक ही है असल में, एज पर हिस्ट्री हम दोनों एक है, भाई है। और शुक्राचार्य उनका गुरु था, उसलिए असुर का गुरु बोलता, असुर सुर का ये ए एंड बी का जैसा हो गया, वो भी जैसा अविद्या विद्या का जैसा। सो सुरों का नाम से सुरिया, वही सीरिया है। असुरों का नाम से असीरिया वो इराक है। असीरियन जो राजा, बहुत पुराने जमाने के बातें कर रहे हैं। तो ये सब हमारे लोग हैं, इसका बहुत प्रमाण है। जैसा कि एक बोगस्कॉय टर्की में एक इंस्क्रिप्शन है, शासन, उसमें लिखा हुआ है मित्रा वरुण, ये जो देवता वेद के हैं, उनके ऊपर प्रतिज्ञा करते हुए हिटाइट मिटानी दोनों का युद्ध उन्होंने बंद कर दिया तुर्की में। सो तुर्की, हिटाइट, मिटानी, सीरिया, असीरिया, ईरान, ये सब भारत के मुल्क है। और उनके जो बेटियां थी वही इजिप्ट के महारानियां बने, माताएं बने। तो ये पूरा एक बहुत बड़ा नेटवर्क है जो वेद से, भारत से जुड़ा हुआ है। ये लोग नहीं जानते ये सब। मैं बहुत बार कई मीटिंग में बताया। मैं एक बार मीटिंग में तुर्की के एम्बेसडर मेरे बाजू बैठा था, मैं उसको भी बता रहा था ये सब। इसके कई प्रमाण है। अनाटोलिया में एक्सकवेशंस किए गए हैं, वहां पे शिखा सहित ब्राह्मणों का सिर में वगैरह मिला है खुदाई में। इस तरह बोगस्काय में तो शासन है। इस तरह बहुत तुर्की शब्द का है तुरगिया, संस्कृत में तुरग मतलब घोड़ा, सो अरब की घोड़ा से होता है। तो ये सब पूरे हम पहले हमारे लोग थे, हमारे लोग वहाँ पे व्यापक रूप में, आज भी जो है व्यापक रूप में हर देश में हमारे लोग मिलते हैं। उस टाइम पे और भी ज्यादा तरीके से दो प्रकार ये इनका बहुत लंबा माइग्रेशन का जिक्र होता है। एक जो है परशुराम के काल में, जब परशुराम ने 27 बार क्षत्रियों का नाश किया है, तो बहुत क्षत्रिय भाग गए यहाँ से। वही यवन है, वही ग्रीस में है, इस तरह कई देशों में बस गए थे। और इसके और भी कई प्रमाण है उनके भाषा में। आप जाइए किसी भी देश में जाइए, उनके भाषा में आपको संस्कृत शब्द 30% तक मिलते हैं, कुछ कम नहीं, 25-30% तक मिलते हैं। तो ऐसे कई आधार है। जीन्स में भी रिसर्च किया गया है। हमारे हिंदुस्तान में आप कई लोगों को देखे होंगे, काफी मतलब विलायती दिखने में गोरे दिखते हैं। मेरे खुद के फैमिली, मेरे माता, मेरे मामा, ये लोग भी मेरे रिश्तेदार दिखने में फॉरेनर दिखेंगे। अभी कई कश्मीरी लोग कैसे है, पंजाबी लोग बहुत है, यदि उधर गए तो वो लोग पहचान नहीं सकते, एक ही दोनों एक ही समझेंगे। तो हमारे जीन्स में एकता है, सारे जातियों का, यूरोप का और ईरानियों का और इराकियों का और इजिप्ट का, हमारे साथ हमारे ही लोग हैं वो जो वहां पे गए। और सर्वपल्ली राधाकृष्णन में भी बताया 5000 पहले दक्षिण भारत से जो लोग गए हैं वही इजिप्ट में बस हुए थे। तो ये सब क्यों बोल रहा हूँ आप सुनिए, अभी बहुत खास बात सुनिए। ये जो ऋग्वेद है, वो ऋग्वेद सबसे पुराना है। मानव सभ्यता समाज का सबसे पुराना ग्रंथ ऋग्वेद है, सब लोग मानते हैं, हमारे क्रिटिक्स भी मानते हैं। वो ऋग्वेद के अंदर जो सिद्धांत है, एकम सत विप्रा बहुधा वदंती, भगवान एक ही सत्य है लेकिन अलग अलग रूप में बताया जाता है, अनेक रूपों में, अनेक देवता रूपों में। इंद्रम मित्रम वरुणम मातरिश्वम सुपर्णो वागरुत्मान, इंद्र हो, मित्र हो, वरुण हो, इस तरह का ये मंत्र ऋग्वेद में है। और हम ये लोग जो है, ईरानी जो लोग थे, ये अभी जो मुसलमान है, लेकिन पहले क्या थे वो आपको मालूम है? वो जारूस थे, पारसी, जो रतन टाटा का वगैरह जो जात है उनके थे। तो वो उनका ग्रंथ एक है जंद अवस्थ, जंद मतलब छंद, छंद मतलब वेद। उसमें ऋग्वेद से ही लेके बहुत सारे उन्होंने अपना मजहब को बनाया। तो एकम सत विप्रा बहुधा वदंती के सिद्धांत को उन्हें वहां पे अपना के उस एकम सत को उन्होंने नया नाम दिया अहूरा मजदा, एक ईश्वर। तो वो सिद्धांत वो इजराइल के जो लोग थे वहां पे, उनके साम्राज्य में थे, पर्शियन साम्राज्य में 2000 ख्रीस्त पूर्व से लेके पर्शियन साम्राज्य विस्तृत रूप में थी। इजराइल के रूप में जो थे 600 बीसी में दो इजराइल के गुरुओं को इन्होंने ये इंस्ट्रक्शन दिया कि आप एक भगवान को पूजिए, इतने ज्यादा भगवान को मत पूजिए। उनके पास बहुत ही लोग देवताएं थे, जैसा हमारे पास भी है और ऋग्वेद में भी थे, लेकिन ये सब के पीछे एक ही ईश्वर है। इस एकेश्वरवाद जो है ये फारसी लोगों ने, पर्शियन सम्राट, ये इजरायली लोगों के ऊपर उनके साम्राज्य में होने की वजह से ये थोपने से वो लोग अपने ही देवताओं में एक देवता जो रुद्र के रूप में, मतलब ये युद्ध के देवता है या वे, उनको ऊपर उठा के एक एकेश्वर बना के बाकी को छोड़ दिया। तो यही है मूल। तो ये जो इजरायली लोग हैं वो भी हमारे लोग हैं, जो ये यहाँ पे से द्वारका से गए यादव ऐसे लोग हैं, वहाँ पे सेटल हो गए थे उस टाइम पे। और वो गाय का बछड़ा को पूजा करते हैं, इस तरह भी है। तो उन्हीं उन्हीं का एकेश्वरवाद से क्रिश्चियन का एकेश्वरवाद यहोवा नाम से निकला है। और ये जीसस को बीच में ले आके यहोवा का बेटा है, यहोवा है, 3 प्रकार के रूप है, द फादर, द सन एंड द होली स्पिरिट। इस तरह उन्होंने क्रिश्चियन मजहब को बनाया, और जिसको यहूदी नहीं मानते, जीसस को नहीं मानते यहूदी। इसराइल में आज भी क्रिसमस को हॉलिडे नहीं होती है, यरूशलेम में। और जब इस्लाम की बर्थ होगी, इस्लाम कैसा पैदा हुआ? अरबी में जो क्रिश्चियन थे, यहूदी थे, उन्हीं का सिद्धांतों से एक नया मजहब किया, बनाया गया मोहम्मद के नाम से। वो मतलब कई 9th सेंचुरी में वो कुरान को फाइनल किया गया। अब्दुल मालिक एक खलीफा था, उसने ये पूरा बनाया। उसमें ये पूरा नया कहानी सुनाया, जहाँ पे जीसस को नीचे ला गया कि एक केवल एक गुरु था, एक प्रवक्ता था, एक मसीहा था, लेकिन भगवान नहीं था।
Sorry for the interruption. It's 8 o'clock past.
Yeah.
We can continue after the प्रार्थना. Sorry for the interruption.
Yeah, I'm just concluding. So इस तरह ये सब जुड़े हुए हमसे। अभी प्रार्थना के बाद हम चालू करेंगे।
Okay, thank you, sir. Vasundhara garu, can you do the प्रार्थना, please?
Okay, sir. स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यं लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितो ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः अपुत्राः पुत्रिणः सन्तु पौत्रिणः अधनाः सधनाः सन्तु जीवन्तु शरदां शतम् सत्यं वद धर्मं चर स्वाध्यायान् मा प्रवदः सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः सर्वे जनाः सुखिनो भवन्तु स्वस्ति।
ధన్యవాదాలు వసుంధర గారు. Thank you very much. Now we raise for the national anthem. जनगणमन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंधु गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तब जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे। जय 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 हे। जय हिंद। जय हिंद।
तो इस तरह ये सब हमारे ही वेद से जुड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन उनको इसका ज्ञान नहीं है। लेकिन जो लोग कुरान को अच्छी तरह जानते हैं उनको मालूम है, और जो लोग जोरास्ट्रियन है, मतलब फारसी या रतन टाटा वगैरह है, उनको भी मालूम है, और यहूदियों को भी मालूम है। इसलिए यहूदी हमारे सपोर्ट करते हैं। और ये जो इस्लामिक फंडामेंटलिस्ट है, ईरान में हो या पाकिस्तान में हो, इनको अज्ञान के वजह से ये मालूम नहीं है। यदि वो ये समझ सकते हैं, ये सब इसका पूरे प्रमाण है। मैं जो कुछ भी बताया मेरे पास पूरा प्रमाण है। तो ये मैं अकेला नहीं बता रहा हूँ, बहुत लोग जानते हैं ये। यदि बराबर इसको लाया गया, जैसा हिंदुस्तान और पाकिस्तान, ये सब लोग जानते हैं कि दोनों एक ही थे। सब लोग जानते हैं कि वो लोग हिंदू ही थे, लेकिन आज उनका क्या पोजीशन है? वो बोलते हैं हम हिंदू नहीं थे, हमारे भी थे। इस तरह का झूठा बयान देते रहते हैं। तो ये झूठे बयान से ही समस्या हो रही है। इसलिए असतो मा सद्गमय, जब आप झूठ को निकाल के सत्य को ला लेंगे, तम सोमा ज्योतिर्गमय, आप अंधेरा से ज्योति में पहुंच जाए, तब ये सारे समस्याएं अपने आप हल जाए। ठीक है।
ओके, आई थिंक विद्याधर जी, आपको क्लैरिटी आ गया?
सर परमिशन हो तो मैं शायद मेरा इशू ज्यादा समझा नहीं पाया मैं सर, हल्का सा रह गया। अगर परमिशन हो तो मैं थोड़ा
आप जो मैं बोला आप समझे नहीं समझे?
सर मैं समझ गया, बट मैं नहीं समझा पाया सर। मैं एक्चुअल में क्या पूछना चाह रहा हूँ मैं। हाँ
विद्याधर जी, let me tell you, आपका his point was the paravidya and aparavidya. How do we conceive and how do we explain to the next generation what is this and ये सारी चीज क्या है, कैसे Israel is able to do it and we are not able to do it, and ये what is
It's not
our
that. I'll tell you. Israel is one of the most advanced countries in the world. टेक्नोलॉजी में
सर सर मैं आई परमिट?
या
सर बिल्कुल आपने सही सेंटेंस बोला, मोस्ट एडवांस। मेरा कंसर्न ये है कि सर जो कोर्स से मैं पढ़ रहा हूँ, आप पढ़ा रहे हैं, मैं उसको समहाउ ऐसे देख रहा हूँ कि मेरी लाइफ में क्या कंट्रीब्यूशन है इसका। वो कोर्स मुझे पढ़ा रहा है अपनी सराउंडिंग से ठीक रहना चाहिए, दुश्मन से भी ठीक हो, समथिंग, पड़ोसी से, भाई से, बहन से, यूक्रेन से, समथिंग, सबसे। तो सर क्या ये हमें कहीं न कहीं इस कोर्स में कुछ इस तरह की चीजें भी हैं, या आप बताने वाले हैं कि भाई हम स्ट्रेंथन कैसे हों? पाकिस्तान दिल्ली घुस जाता था सर, अब नहीं घुस रहा क्योंकि यहाँ स्ट्रेंथ आ गई। इजराइल की तरफ भी फ्यूचर में मुझे नहीं लग रहा 20-30-50 साल देखने वाला है, फिर देख लेंगे, वो तो चलता रहता है। बट जब आप अपनी स्ट्रेंथ दिखाते हैं सर, अविद्या से ही सर विद्या सेफ है, जो मैं देख रहा हूं। अगर अविद्या आपकी स्ट्रॉन्ग है, मैं उस वर्ड को लेके आ रहा हूं जो हमें अभी पढ़ाया जा रहा है, अविद्या नहीं हो तो सर विद्या सेफ ही नहीं है। तो ये क्या क्या सर कुछ जो
मैं समझ गया। अभी
हाँ
बताओ, सुनिए।
हाँ
अभी
सर।
आप इसके लिए आप हमारे पुराने जमाने में हिंदुस्तान का क्या हालात थी, आप उसको गौर से देखना पड़ेगा। जैसा रामायण काल में, महाभारत काल में क्या परिस्थिति थी। ये 1000 साल के पहले तक हिंदुस्तान दुनिया में सबसे ताकतवान देश था या नहीं था?
सर ठीक है था, और मैं समझ रहा हूँ ईरान हो, अफगानिस्तान हो, पाकिस्तान हो, इंडिया हो, बर्मा हो, बांग्लादेश हो, यहाँ तक ये सारा फैला हुआ था। हिस्ट्री के बारे में मुझे अंदाजा है सर। मेरा कंसर्न सिर्फ ये है कि जो इंडिया में सर बार बार अटैक भी हुए फिर, और हम फेलियर भी हुए। दो लोग आ गए और हमें कर गए। हमारा इतना ज्ञान था, वो पहले भी था, वो ज्ञान एज सच कुछ काम नहीं आया सर। विद ड्यू रेस्पेक्ट, बड़े बड़े सोमनाथ के मंदिर लूट गए, मतलब कुछ हमारे थॉट की ताकत, मंत्राज की ताकत, वो काम नहीं आई सर। अस्त्र शस्त्र की ताकत ही एक 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 प्रभावशाली चीज है सर। वो वो सबसे पहले चाहिए। आपने खुद बोल दिया सर, इजराइल एडवांस कंट्री है, क्यों है? वो ये सर टेक्नोलॉजी है, अस्त्र शस्त्र है, सिंपल भाषा में मैं कहूँ तो। बाकी 90 लाख में से 3 लाख लोग
मैं आपको यह प्रश्न पूछूंगा कि 1000 साल के पहले भारत के ऊपर किसी ने आक्रमण करने की जरूरत नहीं, क्यों नहीं किया, बताइए।
सर आप थोड़ा इनलाइटन कीजिए, मैं शायद ठीक से नहीं कर
क्योंकि
पाऊंगा।
वो बहुत बहुत कमजोर थे और हम शक्तिशाली थे। हमारे हिंदुस्तान, भारत जो है 1000 साल के पहले तक बहुत ही सबसे दुनिया में सबसे ज्यादा शक्तिशाली और धनवान देश था। सोने का धनवान होना और शक्तिशाली होना दोनों एक से एक जुड़े हुए। तो जैसा राम के टाइम लीजिए या कृष्ण या महाभारत के टाइम लीजिए या आखिरी तक ये मुगलों का आने के पहले, मतलब मुसलमानों का आक्रमण आने के पहले जो टाइम था, बहुत ही ताकतवान था डिफेंस टेक्नोलॉजी उस टाइम के हिसाब से, समझे आप? है नहीं? यदि ना था तो तभी हो जाता था ये सब। जैसा पृथ्वीराज चौहान का भी जो 17 बार अटैक हुआ था गजनी का, मोहम्मद गजनी का, तो वो पलट के भाग गया, तो उसको छोड़ा दिया गया क्षमा रूप से, यही गलती थी। तो ये क्षात्र धर्म जो है, हम ये जो बता रहे हैं ये ब्रह्म विद्या है, समझे? हम क्षात्र धर्म यहाँ पे क्लास नहीं चला रहे, वो अलग है, वो धनुर्वेद है। धनुर्वेद जानने वाले बहुत कम लोग हैं आजकल, बेशायद कोई नहीं है। द्रोणाचार्य धनुर्वेदी के बहुत बड़े ज्ञानी थे धनुर्वेद का। सो द्रोणाचार्य अर्जुन को इस तरह बनाया कि दुनिया में कोई भी उसको हरा नहीं सकता। इतने अस्त्र शस्त्र थे उनके पास। उस टाइम पे कोई इजराइल नहीं था, कोई अमेरिका नहीं था, कोई इंग्लैंड नहीं था, क्योंकि सब जंगल था। जो देश बाहर के थे हिंदुस्तान के, वो इजिप्ट था, चाइना था, ईरान था, पर्शिया था, वो हमारे लोग थे। इसमें महाभारत युद्ध में भी उन्होंने कई लोग आके उनके युद्ध में भाग लिए थे। तो महाभारत युद्ध एक वर्ल्ड वार था। वो किसके बीच में था? भाइयों के बीच में था। तो उसके बाद परीक्षित का, उसके बाद मौर्यन एम्पायर, उसके बाद होते होते पृथ्वीराज चौहान तक हिंदुस्तान को कोई भी हरा नहीं सकता था। उसके बाद जो हुआ है वो धोखा से हुआ है, अधर्म से हुआ है, वो सब हुआ है। ब्रिटिश का भी बहुत धोखे से, अधर्म से और कई प्रकार के युक्तियों से, वियुक्तियों से उनका आक्रमण हुआ है। मैं आपसे इतना तक सहमत हूं कि ये जो काल है, इतना बड़ा चरित्र में, ये जो काल है, 8000 साल समझ लीजिए, 7000 समझ लीजिए, 1000, ये भारत की एक अंधेरा युग है। तो ये खत्म होने के बाद अभी जो हो रहा है, हम फिर हमारे स्वर्णिम युग में पहुंच रहे हैं। धीरे 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 पहुंच ही गए, समझ लीजिए। अभी तीसरी नंबर पे आ रहे हैं दुनिया में, 1 नंबर में भी आ सकते हैं। ये हमारे एक क्षात्र बल है। क्षात्र बल के लिए धनुर्वेद है, मंत्र शास्त्र, तंत्र शास्त्र भी थे, अभी तो वो लुप्त हो गए। जितने भी राजा युद्ध करते थे एक जमाने में, ये मंत्रों का भी इस्तेमाल होता था। आपको शायद नहीं मालूम, कौटिल्य अर्थशास्त्र में भी उन्होंने अधर्ववेद मंत्रवेदता को राज पुरोहित के नाम का क्वालिफिकेशन, मिनिमम क्वालिफिकेशन बताया। अधर्ववेद में अभिचार कर्म कांड होता है, जिसमें शत्रुओं का नाश के लिए वो हवन आदि वगैरह करते थे, और वो काम करता था। असल में आपके जवाब में ये सब ज्ञान की नष्ट होने की वजह से ही हमारी ये दुर्गति प्राप्त हो गई थी। और आज जो शस्त्रास्त्र में हम हिंदुस्तान जैसा ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में प्रकट रूप में बताया गया कि हिंदुस्तान दुनिया में सबसे शक्तिशाली देशों में है। पाकिस्तान या ऐसे आड़े टेढ़े देश कोई कुछ नहीं कर सकता है। यह तो स्पष्ट हो गई थी ऑपरेशन सिंदूर। और भी आगे बढ़ रहे हैं हिंदुस्तान के डिफेंस सेक्टर। क्षात्र धर्म का जो है, हमेशा हमारे पास वर्ण व्यवस्था, हमारे ये जो कोर्स का नाम है सनातन धर्म, इसमें वर्णाश्रम धर्म हमेशा रहा है। ब्राह्मण, क्षत्रिय, वैश्य, शूद्र हमेशा रहते हैं, अभी भी है, पहले भी थे। न केवल हिंदुस्तान में, हर जगह में तो रहते हैं। ये तो अनअवॉइडेबल है, उसको कोई बंद नहीं कर सकता। थोड़ा सा रूप में बदलाव आया होगा, लेकिन ये वर्णाश्रम धर्म तो हमेशा रहती है। तो क्षात्र धर्म का पालन करने के लिए ही राम अवतार हुआ है। उसको बताने के लिए ही अर्जुन जैसा लोगों के साथ कृष्णावतार में महाभारत युद्ध हुआ है। सो क्षात्र धर्म जरूरी है, वो रहना चाहिए। जब तक वो नहीं है, ये आतताइयों का कंट्रोल करने का मुश्किल होता है। इसलिए हमारे देश एक कॉलोनाइज्ड ऑक्यूपाइड कंट्री में बदल गई थी कुछ दिन के लिए। ठीक है, आप बोलिए, आप क्या बोल रहे हैं?
सर, अभी आपने खुद कहा है कि हम स्वर्णिम काल की तरफ बढ़ रहे हैं। वर्ल्ड वाइड हम इकोनॉमी में तीसरे स्थान पे आ गए हैं। ऑपरेशन सिंदूर हमने बड़ा सक्सेसफुल किया है। मैं सर आपके शब्दों से ही आपसे क्वेरी करना चाहूंगा। सर, ये सारे के सारे डेवलपमेंट से आए हैं, एंड विद ड्यू रेस्पेक्ट सर, मैं आई एम हाईली रेस्पेक्ट विद वेदास, रामायण, महाभारत, उपनिषद, लेकिन उस रास्ते से नहीं आई हैं सर ये चीजें। उस रास्ते से लोग हमें मटियामेट कर गए थे सर यहाँ पे। अब आपने खुद कहा कि ये चीजें आई हैं, तो ये चीजें सर प्रेजेंट एरा अग्रेसिव हुआ है, राफेल लेके आया है, दूसरी चीजें अपनी स्ट्रेंथ करी हैं, जीएसटी वगैरह कैसे भी करके फाइनेंशियल स्ट्रॉन्ग करके अपने इस कंट्री में बड़े गड्ढे थे जो भरे गए हैं, उसके हिसाब से आई। तो सर मैं चाहूंगा जो हमारा कोर्स है सर, वो कोई भी चीज होती है सर, मैंने इतना ही सुना है कि समय, स्थान और काल के हिसाब से होनी चाहिए। तो हमारे कोर्स में सर धनुर्वेद है, वो सबसे जरूरी है, उसको साथ में इनलाइटन करिएगा आप। हम 2025 में जी रहे हैं, इजराइल सरवाइव कर रहा है, और ऑपरेशन सिंदूर आपने बोल दिया, वो सारी वही चीजें हैं सर। इंडिया बिल्कुल एमर्जिंग जा रहा है सर, और हम लोग भी इस कोर्स को सीख रहे हैं। तो वो चीजें सर शामिल होनी चाहिए इस कोर्स में, मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है। तो ये पूर्ण ज्ञान होगा। आज घर में एक बच्चे को बताते हैं सर, उसको समझ में कम आती हैं चीजें, फिर हमें भी लगता है कि यार हमने देखी हैं चीजें। हमारे पुजारी बैठे रह गए मंदिरों में अपने पूजा पाठ करते हुए, और लोग अटैक आके करके चले गए। आपने कहा क्षमा कर दिया सर मोहम्मद गजनी को, तो सर ये क्षमा वाला भाव ज्यादा है हमारे इसमें। क्षमा क्षमा किया तो क्या हुआ,
ओके
मार गए ना
विद्याधर जी,
पृथ्वीराज को।
एक्सक्यूज मी विद्याधर जी,
हाँ सर, सर
we
सर
are short of time,
सर
so this is a
सॉरी
very unending
सर।
and
No, one final, I'll give
right,
one final
yeah,
response and
please,
close it.
yes.
You see now, इसके बारे में आप जो कह रहे हो ठीक है, हमारा आपका कोई मतभेद नहीं है। हमारे इसमें एक सब्जेक्ट ये भी है, विमान शास्त्र, जो मैं खुद ले रहा हूँ। विमान शास्त्र एक शास्त्र है जिसमें से हमने कुछ चीजें बनाई, एक यंत्र बनाया, कुछ लौह बनाए, और ये सारे चीज जो है आज की साइंस से काफी एडवांस्ड। समझ रहे हैं आप, सुन रहे हो
सर?
ये जो मैं एक वक्र प्रसारण यंत्र बनाया जो 16 गेयर का है, गेयर। सो आज का जो जितने भी गेयर है वो 8 के है, इससे ज्यादा नहीं होते। तो ये जो धनुर्विद्या में अस्त्र और शस्त्र दो होते हैं। शस्त्र मतलब जैसे तलवार है या चाकू है, और ये फेंकने वाले ये है, वो गदा है, इस तरफ शस्त्र होते हैं। और बाण भी है और शस्त्र होते हैं। अस्त्र जो है मंत्रों से चलते। तो आप गलत फहमी में मत रहिए कि ये ब्राह्मणों को ये मंत्र नहीं आते थे, एक जमाने पे आते थे, वही सिखाए। जैसा द्रोणाचार्य, गुरुग्राम जो नाम उन्हीं के नाम से हुआ है, वो भारद्वाज गोत्र थे, मैं भी भारद्वाज गोत्री हूँ। तो उन्होंने ये अस्त्रों का विद्या का पारंगत थे, वो अर्जुन को बनाया सबसे जाबाज योद्धा पूरे दुनिया में। और राम को भी भारद्वाज ने दिया है और अगस्त्य दिए थे, ये अस्त्र वगैरह, उसी से राम ने रावण जैसे महाशक्तिशाली को जीत लिया था। तो ये विद्या जो है वो गुप्त हो गया है, अभी अभी नहीं मिलता वो, आप कहीं भी ढूंढ लीजिए, ये मंत्रों के साथ अस्त्र विद्या नहीं मिलती है। अभी मैं दातिया से आया हूँ, दातिया मालूम है आपको, ये बिटवीन छत्रपुर एंड झांसी उधर
सर।
है। तो दातिया में माता जी पीताम्बरा का मंदिर है, वहां पे तंत्र विद्या अभी भी चालू है, थोड़ा सा पहला और ज्यादा तो उनके गुरुजी थे जो मंत्रों से ही, हवन से ही कई चमत्कार दिखाए। जैसा कि 1962 का चाइना वॉर जो था, वो बहुत बड़ा यज्ञ करके क्या करे पता नहीं, मैं तो नहीं था, तो उन्होंने रोकवा दिया। और कई ऐसे चमत्कार वहां पे लोग बताते हैं। तो ये तंत्र शास्त्र जो उसमें जो कर्म है, अभिचारिक कर्म कहते हैं। ये वेद मंत्रों का कर्मकांड 3 प्रकार होता है, शांतिक, पौष्टिक और अभिचारिक। शांति का मतलब शांति के लिए हम शांति मंत्र पढ़ते हैं, शांति 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 बोलते रहते। और पौष्टिक मतलब पुष्टि के लिए, और अभिचारिक मतलब शत्रु के लिए, शत्रु नाश के लिए। तो सब लोग ये करते थे, अभी भी कुछ लोग करते हैं लेकिन बहुत कम करते हैं। अभी वो लुप्त हो गया वो ज्ञान। धनुर्वेद तो पूरा लुप्त हो गया, मतलब केवल ये तीर मारने का बच गया है, बाकी सब लुप्त हो गया। वे किताब तो है, एक किताब है, लेकिन वो उसमें ज्यादा, कई किताब थे जो लुप्त हो गए। तो मैं आपसे सहमत हूँ कि इस तरह का विद्या को हमको बाहर लाना पड़ता है। मैं कुछ लाया है, मुझे पास पेटेंट्स भी है। मैं आपको अगली बार जिस इसके ऊपर जब भाषण दूंगा तब आपको समझ में आएगा, तब तक आप शांत रहिए, ठीक है
सर? थैंक यू सर।
Okay.
सर ये जो विमान शास्त्र बता रहे थे तो जेट इंजन बनाने
Please,
से ठीक था सर,
yeah,
वी आर
please,
आस्किंग।
no, don't further take on.
सर
We
सर
are short of time. I just want to add to what Prabhu Garu has said that recently in Hyderabad, the Veda Sabhas, a trust which is working for the Vedas, development of Vedas, and training students in Vedic studies. It has completed 25 years. And in the Vedic Sabha, the Pandits, they have told and discussed on the power of the Veda mantras. Veda mantras have lot of power to develop not only self but also the nation. Srauta and Smarta Vedic studies. So, Vidyadharji, please first try to understand the whatever Prabhu Garu is trying to say, that we have lost a lot of our the studies and scholars. So now we are developing all those things, and let us all understand this concept and the power of Vedas and the power of mantras. It has a lot of power. And Prabhu Garu, as he said that 1,000 years back, we were very powerful. Why? Because of Vedic culture was there, Vedic this studies were there, and it was in existence. So let us all understand what Prabhu Garu is saying, and in further classes. Thank you very much, Prabhu.
सर एक सेकंड ले सकता हूँ सर? एक सेकंड।
नहीं सर, अभी 8:30
ठीक है,
हो
ओके
गया।
सर, राइट सर, राइट
थैंक
सर,
यू, विल
राइट
कैच अप
राइट
अगेन। नमस्कार प्रभु गारू। Babu Garu, can I close? Sorry, you have come just now.
No, I have been on the watch for the last 2 hours.
Yeah.
No problem.
Babu Garu, when will be my Vedic mathematics classes?
Yeah, I
No,
will
sir.
let you know. I will. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
It is a very good discussion. We'll continue it. Vidyasagar Garu will definitely continue it, and then the aim of the course will be clear by the time you finish this course. And also advanced course. Also, we are in the basics only now.
सर
Just toddlers. We are toddlers. Slowly, you will come to know all these things.
सर
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll close now. Thank you.